Zell Boy Army. EA have done it again. EA are giving me content without giving me content. The EA icon gay, EA gay icon scandal, whatever you want to call it, has another twist in the tail. EA have gone again to our good man Nathan Bliss and given him some exclusive quotes. Let's get into it. You're probably wondering what they said. Again, long story short, for anyone who's not seen any videos from this before, I've been doing lots of videos in the last week or two about it, but EA basically, it's been proven for the most part, I'd say, that someone at EA, an employee, is selling icons on an icon black market to people and putting it into people's accounts for free, but obviously they pay for it in the first place. And EA are currently investigating it, and there's been lots of different stuff that's come out about it. One of the main things that's come out about is a lot of anger, I guess, from the community that we spend lots of money and time, more importantly, to try and get the best teams on foot. And it's just basically impossible. To put it in perspective, I've spent 2 grand this year on the game. I will do a Road to Glory next year, probably. Not even out of principle, just because I'm not even sure if I'm that bored about competing as a pro player anymore. Um, Content, coaching, making videos, that type of stuff. One makes more money in FIFA. I make more money in a month of YouTube than I would if I got top 16 in a pro event, which shows how bad a place the esports in right now. But more so, just it's a lot less stress, and I don't want to spend 2 grand a year on the game to try. I wouldn't do that if it wasn't because I'm forced to compete. But yeah, I spend 2 grand this year to try and get a great team to compete in the qualifiers against other pros. I get top 100 nearly every week. I also made like 2 to 3 million coins from trading early in the game from flipping icons, and I can just about afford Moments R9. Can't get him on the market because he's extinct, but I have about 16, 17 million coins if I sold everything. That's like 10% of basically the best team in the game. So if I'm spending all that time on the game, getting the best rewards, and also spent 2 grand, and that's what I'm able to get, is it really true? So basically, this article, we're going to go through it, is from exclusive quotes EA have given to Nathan Bliss, the esports and gaming journalist at the Daily Mirror, big national English newspaper. EA have challenged a viral Twitter thread that worked out the true cost of obtaining the best Ultimate Team squad possible. And they've also clarified their position around the entire premise of the FUT game mode. Let's go find the tweet first. The tweet's early on. Hide my DMs. Um, so Scuds TV content creator there said, "Let's talk EA Sports FIFA 21." A Fred, you claim that everyone can get all players, which is basically what EA have been saying, without spending money on the game. Here's my dream team, a mere 100 million coin team. Yeah, 100. That's about 100 million coins. And honestly, that doesn't even include the bench. He said this is achievable. Obviously, taking the piss. Um, if you one play games, 100 million coins of gameplay, 1,500, that'll take 67,000 games. Obviously, not possible. That'll take 2.5 years of games. Obviously, the game cycle's probably like 6 to 9 months. Monitoring the market, that's EA's trading thing they talked about. That was another thing we discussed. If you made 10,000 coins profit per trade, you'd have to make 10,000 trades. If you trade 10k every 10 minutes, so you're making 60,000 coins an hour. That is a lot. You'd need to trade for 69 full 24 7 days. So but let's be fair, like if someone put 8 hours a day into purely trading, they would be able to, if they made this much profit an hour every hour for 8 hours, which is a lot. It would take them 210 days, which is over half a year. That's if you literally every day non-stop spend 8 hours a day trading non-stop and made good money consistently. You can't have any off moments. And then you still couldn't afford the bench as well. Spending, obviously, as well, if you do one of these, you can't do the other. Spending pounds, 100 million coins from FIFA points. You'd have to spend about 80 grand. I mean, you make more than 100,000 coins per profit per 12k, but regardless, the point stands, you'd have to spend a ridiculous amount of FIFA points. And in my opinion, you should not need to spend anything on FIFA points. Scud says you need to understand the options you put in front of your community do not allow everyone to achieve whatever they desire in your game. Agree with this, Fred, completely. The stance you take is unethical. Agreed. You're encouraging your community to spend huge amounts of time playing your game at detriment. I mean, if you think the game's a detriment to your mental health, go play another video game. Like, I don't fully agree with that statement in the sense of if people want to spend they should spend time playing games they want. Like, at the end of the day, EA don't force you to play the game, or encouraging your community to spend an unethical amount of money. I agree with that point. The system EA have put in place is there to try and make you spend a lot of money. They try and pretend that it isn't, but everything in foot revolves to bloody FIFA points. EA has challenged Twitter post. Interesting. Let's see what they've got to say about this. In a response, EA has exclusively revealed its position. We are aware that there's been recent speculation. It's not speculation. It's just facts. While we respect the effort and creativity to map out possible paths to greatness, we challenge the premise of these theories. There are a lot of assumptions being made. No, not really. They're pretty reasonable calculations. I mean, for example, you can't accurately calculate how many coins you would earn from trading. I mean, it's not really... Is it a football game or is it a card trading game? But 60 grand an hour every day, 8 hours a day, that is taking more than half a year. That's pretty reasonable assumption, if anything too generous. So jog on there, EA. There are also other aspects of the game that contribute to building your club, such as SBCs. Yeah, SBCs, SBCs that drain your club of coins, objectives which take a lot of time, draft, which if I was to win 10 drafts, I would probably break even. I win nearly every draft, and I barely make profit ever. That's how bad draft is. So, honestly, like, EA just chatting more shit. As importantly, FIFA is a game of skill. Not as much as it should be. The skill of the player is the greatest factor in the outcome of matches. I agree with that. People still think it is only team, but the player matters more than the team. A strong player can be successful whether their team is bronze, silver, gold, or a mixture of all three. That is bollocks. Trust me. Try use the best bronze striker on Moments R9 and see how successful you can be no matter how skillful you are. That's just stupid. That isn't true. There's a reason where you see a lot of YouTubers do these videos with bronze, silver challenges that they don't actually show you the full gameplay where they finished in Weekend League, because it's nearly impossible to compete with these teams. It's nearly impossible to compete against someone with this team if you have gold Ben Yedder up front, never mind some guy from the Korean League with 60 pace. You don't need the highest rated players in the game in order to win. No, you don't, but it'll give you a much better chance. And the real world, honestly, it makes me want to chuckle every time I see EA start comparing FIFA to the real world. I mean, there is an element of the real world football's pay to win like FIFA. Fair enough, that could go with that. No football club has the world's highest rated players in each of the 11 positions. No, they don't, because real world is an actual business. FIFA's supposed to be a video game for fun, where it's called Ultimate Team. Barcelona aren't called FC Ultimate Team Barcelona. Man United, the Ultimate Team Red Devils. Liverpool Ultimate Team Football Club. Aston Ultimate Team Villa. I can't believe they're trying to make this point. This is a video game called Ultimate Team. Your Ultimate Team should be able to be the best 11 players in the game, but that is not physically possible. So why is the mode called Ultimate Team if you can't get the best players and can't get your Ultimate Team? While it is possible to field the top 11, no, it's not without cheating or knowing someone at EA to put the players in your account. If skilled enough, or honestly, get away with that. With substantive time investment. Yeah, someone who can spend 36 hours a day on the game. It's certainly not intended. Well, why is it called Ultimate Team Mode then? I don't want it to be that you can get the best team in the game in a day, but if you spend all year grinding and are very good at the game, you should be able to get the best team by the end of the game at least. To say otherwise disrespects the many players. No. What disrespects the many players is the bullshit marketing jargon bollocks that you keep waffling. The lack of respect that EA show the community in these ridiculous statements to national newspapers, because most people who read this won't actually understand that EA are chatting shit. It's just disrespectful to the community. Honestly, it just pisses me off reading them saying shit like this. You spend time learning and loving the game. Exactly, there's a lot of people who spend a lot of time learning and loving the game, and they don't get rewarded. Mastering a skill move. Set pieces. Timed finishing. Not anymore. Vision passing lanes. Some irony in that. Building down, tearing down, rebuilding their team. Like so many managers. Alright, yeah. That's the magic and fun of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Investment is a choice players can make. I agree in that. But it shouldn't be in a video game that you have to invest so heavily. It's a video game. Some teams build through investment. That's a choice for owners. Like I say, I agree. It is a choice. EA don't force you to do that. But they really try influence you in a way to do that. There's a reason when there's an issue with FIFA points, they get fixed like that. And there's a reason when there's been bugs that have been in the game for years that don't affect sales, that they don't get fixed. There's a choice, EA, in how you treat your community. And you choose the wrong one too often. There's a choice in which bugs you fix. And you always choose the ones that make you more money. If the premise here is that players want the best players in the world on their team so they can improve, compete online, play against the best, they can do that in FIFA for no additional investment. You can play as a lot. Yeah, you can, but not in FUT, which is the mode that we're on about. So stop there. There's no one path to winning the league. There's no one path to the Champions League. There's no one path to the World Cup. And there is no one path to being successful in EA Sports FIFA. I agree with that. But there's one path that's a lot easier to do than the others. Spend a lot of money. That's as it should be. No, it's not as it should be, yeah. You're just skirting around the elephant in the room. FIFA Ultimate Team is a multifaceted game of skill. How big your wallet is one of the most important skills, sadly. It's important to note that you can acquire all items in the game without ever spending money. Yes, technically you can. Can you actually? No. Not unless you know someone at EA, with purchase being entirely optional. They are entirely optional. Maybe if you spent 20 grand, you could get everything in the game. There's not a world in which people are getting every item in the game that they want without ever spending money. Any professional competitive FIFA player needs to demonstrate the skills they make again. They're waffling this shit again in order to be considered proficient enough. No, you should not have to be good at trading and economy monitoring. What even is squad rotation anymore on FIFA? They remove fitness. What pro player? Pro players should just have to be good at the game. A pro footballer doesn't have to understand the transfer market. Do you think Virgil van Dijk, now that he's injured, spending more time trying to scout for Liverpool? Do you think Lionel Messi, when he gets off the pitch after scoring a hat-trick for Barcelona, is on the phone to other clubs wheeling and dealing? No. They're just playing. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what pro players do. Yeah, so we got this stuff from Scuds. We've already looked into that. What do you make of EA's position on obtaining a dream FIFA 21 Ultimate Team? I think it's bollocks, to be honest. That's the face I want to pull. Honestly, it's a disgrace, the shit they're chatting, but I'm genuinely holding back as well in some of these videos. Like, I could say a lot more, but do you guys think it really is possible without spending anything to get these cards realistically? Yes, in 5 years you could maybe get them if you only... But, like, do you get what I mean? Like, realistically, is it possible to get these cards? I'm going to go with no. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do appreciate support. Thank you so much for watching these videos, the comments. I love seeing what you guys have to say. Please let me know what your thoughts on this latest article is. And again, big thank you to Nathan Bliss, the esports and gaming writer. You can see he's been posting lots of different stuff for us. It's nice to see someone trying to hold EA accountable and getting more information from EA for us. Appreciate you guys always. Keep it spicy.